Imagine a digital currency used by millions across the globe, but with a secret. A paradox. Two wildly different prices for the exact same coin. One price, a staggering, almost unbelievable, $314,159. The other, a mere $5. No, you didn't mishear me. This isn't some glitch in the matrix, this is the bewildering high-stakes reality of the Pi network. And today, we're diving deep into the most controversial questions surrounding this crypto enigma. How can one coin have two radically different valuations? And what does it mean for your crypto future? For years, the crypto world has watched the Pi network from the sidelines, often with a mix of curiosity and skepticism. While giants like Bitcoin and Ethereum dominate the headlines, Pi has been quietly, almost stealthily, building a colossal community. We're talking over 60 million active users, or as they call themselves, pioneers, spread across every corner of the planet. And here's the kicker. You don't need a supercomputer, you don't need expensive mining rigs, you don't need to drain your phone battery. Pi is mined with a simple tap on your smartphone. It's decentralized, community-driven, and it promises to build an entirely new digital economy shaped by its users. Sounds revolutionary, right? A crypto for the masses. But within this burgeoning digital empire lies a gaping chasm, a financial mystery that few can reconcile. On one side, we have the global consensus value, or GCV. This isn't some abstract idea. This is a community-determined price for one Pi coin, widely, almost religiously adhered to by millions of pioneers. And that symbolic number, inspired by the mathematical constant Pi itself, is $314,159. Yes, you heard me. $314,159 for one Pi. Now, on the other side of this bizarre coin, we have the whispers. The shadows of the crypto underground. Unofficial gray market exchanges where Pi is being traded right now for a fraction of that. We're talking anywhere from $5 to $50 per coin. A stark, almost brutal contrast. How can the same digital asset command such astronomically different valuations? Is Pi network truly rewriting the rules of economic value? Or is this a house of cards waiting to crumble? The answer, as always in crypto, is anything but simple. Let's pull back the curtain on the global consensus value first. This isn't a price dictated by exchanges or institutions. It's a grassroots phenomenon, a social contract forged by millions of users. The GCV acts as an internal benchmark for peer-to-peer commerce within the PI ecosystem. You see it everywhere, especially in places like Southeast Asia, China, and Africa, where Pi adoption is through the roof. Merchants aren't just talking about the GCV, they're using it. Imagine this, a smartphone listed for 0.001 Pi, a used car for 0.05 Pi. They are strictly adhering to this idea that one Pi is worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. It's not about price manipulation, it's about vision and commitment. We're building the future economy, not mimicking old ones. Critics scream artificial inflation, delusional. But supporters like Lena argue it's much more profound. It's about establishing scarcity, building a psychological foundation of immense value, and reinforcing a powerful belief in Pi's long-term utility. It's a vision, a declaration of intent for a truly decentralized financial future. And in crypto, belief, as we've seen with Bitcoin, can move mountains. But while the GCV paints a picture of a utopian digital economy, a very different narrative is playing out in the murky depths of the crypto underground. Some users have found ways. They're engaging in off-platform transactions, swapping Pi for fiat currency or other digital assets. And here's where the reality check hits. These unofficial, technically rule-breaking trades are valuing Pi not at hundreds of thousands, but at anywhere from $5 to $50. It's a stark, almost brutal reminder of raw market speculation. Now, why is this happening? Because even though these trades are discouraged and violate Pi's terms of use, they reveal a crucial insight: the existence of market-driven speculation and differing perceptions of actual value. So, what about the Pi core team themselves, led by Stanford PhDs like Dr. Nicolas Kokkalis? They've actually remained pretty silent on this whole dual valuation topic. Their message has been, pretty consistent focus on utility, not speculation. They're really pushing for real-world use cases, encouraging KYC verification, and building out decentralized applications within the Pi browser. Price will follow utility. We are not creating just another token, we are building an inclusive digital economy from the ground up. This unwavering focus on real-world application instead of the speculative frenzy that usually defines crypto really sets Pi apart. But it also creates a vacuum, a fertile ground where speculation, both optimistic and pessimistic, just thrives. It's honestly a high-stakes gamble on the very definition of value. So can these two wildly different valuations, the aspirational global consensus value and the pragmatic gray market price, ever coexist? Will one collapse into the other? Or, will pi forge an entirely new path? Many pi supporters believe that once the network fully opens up, the global consensus value will eventually align closer with the exchange rate, or perhaps the market will rise to meet the GCV. Some even propose a tiered pricing mechanism, one price for seamless merchant transactions within the pi ecosystem, and another for open market trades. Imagine discounts for those who transact at the GCV, incentivizing the vision. The global consensus value is interesting from a behavioral finance standpoint. It's not unlike how fiat currencies work. There's a psychological component tied to faith. The problem is, in crypto, speculation usually overrides sentiment unless backed by liquidity. Dr. Alvarez highlights the core tension here, faith versus liquidity. But despite all the uncertainties, one factor remains undeniable. And honestly, it's the bedrock of Pi's continued existence. It's community. The sheer strength of belief among Pi pioneers is unlike almost anything else in crypto. Millions are strong, and they're not just mining. They're actually living the Pi vision. Posting real-world transactions, onboarding new merchants, and showcasing Pi-branded goods. The optimism is contagious, and perhaps it's profoundly necessary. Because, let's be honest, cryptocurrency is as much about collective belief as it is about complex code. Bitcoin and Ethereum grew not just because of technical superiority but because enough people believed they would. In Pi's case, the community believes not only in the coin but in the principles behind it. Inclusion, fairness, and utility without barriers. Will the community hold firm to the GCV? Will they adapt to a market-driven valuation? Or will they find a revolutionary middle ground, defining value in a way no other crypto has dared? What's clear is that Pi Network is conducting a real-time, global experiment in economics, community governance, and decentralized identity. Its outcome could send shockwaves through the entire crypto space, influencing how future projects handle valuation, user participation, and global accessibility. In a financial world that's, often dominated by whales and big institutions, Pi has actually carved out a space for the everyday user, empowering millions to play a meaningful role. That, in itself, is a revolution. And if sustained, it could just, bridge the vast enigmatic gap between idealism and market reality. What do you think? Is the GCV a visionary roadmap or just a pipe dream? Will Pi's market price skyrocket or, will it fall flat? Let me know in the comments below. And hey, don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more deep dives into the crypto world, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next expose. A quick but crucial disclaimer. The information provided in this video is for educational and informational purposes only, and does not constitute financial advice. Cryptocurrency investments are highly volatile and carry significant risks, including the potential loss of principal. The Pi network is still in development, and its future value is highly speculative. Always do your own thorough research and consult with a qualified financial professional before making any investment decisions. Never invest money you cannot afford to lose. We are not financial advisors.